Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show.
The Star Lords were filled with anger and fear. They have completely lost their fighting spirit, and they all know that this battleship is no longer something they can deal with. Their only choice now is to leave here in this battleship quickly. How could Su Yan make them tilde their wishes come true? Su Yan steered the Hyperion and continued to pursue the Star Lords. In the past, come die for me. The Star Lords turned around one after another, trying to escape the pursuit of the Hyperion. The Hyperion was extremely fast, and in the blink of an eye, it had already thrown them away. This is what you forced me to die for. Su Yan looked at the group of Star Lords and gave a loud shout. Suddenly, on the Hyperion, rockets were launched from the deck of the Hyperion and fired towards the Star Lords. The rocket pierced through the void and shot towards the Star Lords fiercely. Come on, get out of here quickly. No, I can't escape Su Yan's attack. My energy is exhausted, and I can't last much longer. Damn, I can't stand it now. The Interstellar Lords roared one after another. At this moment, their faces became much paler, but their purpose was still not achieved. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion and launched an attack towards the other Interstellar Lords. In an instant, the Hyperion fired another rocket. Boom! A huge mushroom cloud rose up, and a huge explosion of energy instantly engulfed the Interstellar Lords. In this explosion of energy, the Interstellar Lords turned into a pile of meat paste and disappeared into this space. Haha, I finally dealt with you guys. No matter how many Interstellar Lords you are now, it doesn't make much sense. You're just a bunch of rabble. Su Yan said with a sneer. Su Yan, you bastard, I will kill you. At this time, one after another scolding voices sounded from this area. Su Yan turned his head to look in the direction of the voice. He discovered that one after another space battleships were speeding towards this side, and there were as many as 50 or 60 of these space battleships. These space battleships are all composed of starships. Some of their spaceships are battleships, some are starships, and some are flying saucers. Their strength is very strong. These interstellar warships all gallop towards the position of the Hyperion, trying to surround the Hyperion. The Star Lords also launched a counterattack. They all mobilized their Interstellar Lords one after another and opened their energy cannons. A series of energy cannons fired fiercely at the Hyperion. Boom! These energy cannons bombarded the Hyperion, making loud noises. The Hyperion was beaten back again and again by these interstellar battleships until it retreated into the sea water. Ha ha! Don't waste your efforts. We have already destroyed the defense system of this battleship. You can't deal with him at all. And now my energy has been exhausted. We only have to run for our lives. You can never catch up with us. The group of Star Lords roared. I want to see how long you can last. Su Yan steered the Hyperion and sprinted forward. He wants to kill all these Interstellar Lords. Whoosh! The speed of the Hyperion is very fast. Like lightning, he broke through the interception of the Interstellar Lords in an instant, and came behind the Interstellar Lords. At this time, the Star Lords also started shooting at Su Yan frantically. Boom! A series of energy cannons bombarded towards Su Yan one after another. Although the energy cannons of the Hyperion are terrifying, it is a pity that they have no way of harming the Hyperion. This Hyperion has 300 times the speed of sound. Inside it, there is a huge supply of space energy, and it is not afraid of their energy cannon attacks at all. The Hyperion is such a bullshit. Their energy cannons can't destroy the Hyperion at all, which makes these Interstellar Lords feel panicked. They also don't know what to do. They took out their last means of life-saving one after another. Boom! All of a sudden, the main gun ports on the star warships all ejected a beam of light and ruthlessly bombarded the Hyperion, asking for flowers. Zero. No, they increased the strength of their attacks. Su Yan felt this energy fluctuation, and his expression changed drastically. He quickly manipulated the Hyperion, trying to avoid it. The attack of the interstellar battleship soon came behind him. A series of terrifying energy rays flickered in the air, attacking him fiercely. The Interstellar Lords are all ready to sacrifice. They know that they are not Su Yan's opponents at all. Their interstellar battleships can't stop Su Yan. They can only fight Su Yan desperately. Under their control, the battleship continuously attacked the Hyperion. Boom! A series of terrifying energy cannons burst into dazzling sparks in mid-air. Su Yan kept avoiding. If he was bombed by these interstellar warships, he would definitely suffer serious trauma. A series of energy cannons roared continuously behind Su Yan. The energy cannon bombarded Su Yan's shield, causing violent explosions. This attack did not cause much damage. This scene shocked the Interstellar Lords. The energy cannon beam bombarded the Hyperion, and the Hyperion began to tremble. Block their attacks for me, Su Yan roared. At this time, the shield of the Hyperion began to light up. A series of golden energy shields emerged continuously. The golden light emitted by the energy shield became more and more intense, and circles of golden halos rippled on the surface of the energy shield. A series of terrifying fluctuations were released from the energy shield. The energy beam bombarded the energy shield, but couldn't penetrate it. Boom! Another 2 energy light cannons hit the shield fiercely. The shield of the Hyperion was not damaged in the slightest. Seeing this situation, Su-Yan was immediately overjoyed. Haha, let's see how you attack this time, Su-Yan shouted angrily. He steered the Hyperion and rushed forward suddenly. The Hyperion continued to attack all around. The Hyperion's attack range is very wide. No matter where it attacks, the Hyperion can always easily resist their attacks. This made them helpless. No way, the Hyperion was able to withstand the attack of so many of us. It is really terrifying. So many of us. There is no way to deal with the Hyperion. No, we can only evacuate. Otherwise, we will be caught up by the Hyperion sooner or later. The interstellar lords began to discuss one after another, and they began to evacuate one after another, wanting to stay away from this dangerous place. The speed of the Hyperion was so fast that it came to these interstellar lords almost instantly. He manipulated the Hyperion and hit the 403 fiercely towards these interstellar lords. Go! These interstellar lords avoided the impact of the Hyperion one after another. Whoosh! These interstellar lords fled in all directions one after another, and they rushed out in all directions, trying to get rid of the pursuit of the Hyperion. At this time, the Hyperion also chased and killed them. Su-Yan manipulated the Hyperion, tightly biting these star lords. Not good. This interstellar battleship is too terrifying. We can't continue to entangle with him, otherwise, we will definitely die. An interstellar lord shouted. The rest of the interstellar lords also nodded. They didn't dare to stay here and entangle with the Hyperion, because the Hyperion is really terrifying. They are not his opponents at all, and leaving here, the regiment is the right choice. Su-Yan sneered, and the Hyperion immediately accelerated. Chasing and killing these interstellar lords. Stop for me. Do not. The interstellar lords were terrified, and they used energy cannons one after another, trying to stop the Hyperion's pursuit. Su-Yan is still constantly chasing these star lords. These interstellar lords couldn't stop the Hyperion at all. They could only watch him getting closer and closer to them. Finally, they fled to a distant planet. They immediately dodged the Hyperion's attack. This bastard, he wants to kill us. Not good. Quickly unite and destroy Hyperion officials from day one, a star lord yelled. Hearing the words of this interstellar lord, the rest of the interstellar lords were taken aback. They all nodded one after another, and then began to contact their forces. They wanted to unite and destroy the Hyperion. Once all the forces of the Alliance are united, even the Hyperion will definitely not be an opponent. When they were inside the Federation, these interstellar lords already had Alliance forces, and after they united, their strength was quite strong, even stronger than the Hyperion chain. They all started to gather together. Such a scene made Su-Yan feel very surprised. These interstellar lords not only did not escape, but they want to unite and prepare to deal with him. At this time, the Hyperion also caught up, and it also rushed towards these interstellar lords. The huge body of the Hyperion slammed into the defense masks arranged by these interstellar lords, and a vast energy ripple continued to spread in all directions. Boom! Under the bombardment of the Hyperion, these defensive masks began to collapse. A series of defensive light curtains shattered rewind. Many interstellar lords fled in all directions. Boom! The Hyperion frantically attacked these interstellar lords. It constantly attacked the energy shields of these interstellar lords, but their energy shields simply couldn't withstand the Hyperion's attack. The Hyperion continued to devour these energy shields. After the Hyperion devoured these energy shields, its volume actually became a little smaller. It seems to be digesting these energies. Don't panic, we will join forces, and we will surely defeat him, a Star Lord shouted loudly. As long as we are united, there is nothing that cannot be solved. Everyone nodded. There was a dignified look on their faces, and then they quickly walked in all directions. They wanted to find the best hiding place, so that the Hyperion could not find them, and then they could unite with the Star Lords to fight against the Hyperion's attack. The consciousness of these interstellar lords is not bad, and they quickly searched in the void. Found it, there it is. That's where the space barrier is the weakest. Walk. These Star Lords immediately flew towards that area. Seeing this, Su-Yan followed suit. Soon, these interstellar lords entered the space they wanted to enter. Su-Yan drove the Hyperion and also rushed into this area. There are many interstellar lords in this area, and their goal is to hide here and avoid being chased by the Hyperion. The Hyperion's speed was extremely fast, but within a short while, it caught up with the group of interstellar lords. Before the Hyperion collided with these interstellar lords, these interstellar lords had already begun to unite together to form a huge lineup. This lineup is enough to compete against the average Star Lord. The Hyperion is not something that ordinary Star Lords can fight against. Su Yan looked at this lineup, the corners of his mouth slightly curled up, and then he controlled the Hyperion and sprinted forward. 3 euros. The Hyperion slammed into this lineup violently. Another violent explosion resounded. After this explosion, the lineup could no longer be organized. Such a result made these interstellar lords feel very shocked. They also became very ugly. A warship actually possesses offensive weapons that can destroy the defenses of interstellar lords. This made them feel very shocked. Don't you guys want to join forces? Why? You can't contact your companions yet, so you know you're scared now, don't you? Su Yan sneered and said, your performance just now is really disappointing. Your joint strength is only a little bit higher than mine. To me, your joint lineup does not make any difference at all. Threaten. On the faces of many interstellar lords, expressions of anger were revealed. Damn it, don't be complacent. Our energy shield can withstand your attack. When our energy shield recovers, you will surely die in our hands. That's right, we join forces. You can't hurt us. Kill him. Many interstellar lords roared one after another. They are all a group of selfish people. They don't want themselves to be one of the victims. They would rather fight to the death with the Hyperion than be defeated by the Hyperion. Ha ha. In that case, let's fight. Su Yan sneered. I want to see. How long can you hold on? Su Yan also didn't want to waste time on these Star Lords. He directly activated the engines of the Hyperion and flew towards the group of interstellar lords. Boom. A beam of energy light was ejected from the muzzle of the huge energy cannon of the Hyperion. This beam of energy light, like a shooting star, landed in this group of interstellar lords in an instant. Inside their ranks, clouds of flames and smoke were set off. This round of attacks caused the group of interstellar lords to lose hundreds of interstellar lords. Bastard, Hyperion, how dare you sneak attack? You want to die, you dare to sneak attack us. Kill him for me. These interstellar lords launched an attack one after another. They launched a powerful energy attack towards Su Yan, and these energy beams bombarded towards Su Yan. All of a sudden, these beams of energy shuttled around Su Yan non-stop. Once the beams of energy approached Su Yan, they would be easily scattered by Su Yan. Hyperion, continue to attack me fiercely. I want to see how long you trash can last. Su Yan snorted coldly. Under his order, the Hyperion's attack became more and more fierce. The attack speed is getting faster and faster, and every bombardment can take away the lives of dozens of interstellar lords, which makes them terrified. How is this possible? How could he be so powerful? My defense can't resist his attack at all. If this continues, we will be completely wiped out. Damn it. We unite. We attack him together. These interstellar lords feel very terrifying. They joined together, united together, and even they couldn't do anything to the Hyperion. How strong is the Hyperion? Together, they couldn't even stop the Hyperion. How can they, the Star Lords, defeat the Hyperion? They all fell into confusion. I want to see who has the stronger defense ability. At this time, these interstellar lords launched attacks one after another. This time, their attacks became denser and denser, like a torrential rain, bombarding the Hyperion frantically from all directions. Boom, boom, the Hyperion made a deafening noise, and the deck of the Hyperion was constantly shining with energy rays. These rays of light can smash meteorites one by one and destroy an interstellar warship. On the shell of the Hyperion, there are a lot of energy holes. From time to time, streams of energy gas poured into the energy holes in these energy holes, causing the energy holes to expand continuously. On the Hyperion, strong energy fluctuations also emerged. Under this energy bombardment, the defense of the Hyperion became stronger and stronger. His energy shield is gradually strengthening, and this situation makes the Star Lords more and more nervous. A fear rose in their hearts. They don't want to die in the hands of the Hyperion. They want to leave this place alive. Boom. Another beam of energy light fell down, leaving a deep and long energy hole on the Hyperion. Rumble. These interstellar lords finally couldn't bear it anymore. Retreat. All retreat. After a fierce battle, the Hyperion also consumed most of its energy, which made the Hyperion a little weak. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion and flew towards the distance quickly. The Hyperion's sailing speed is very fast, and the energy shield on its hull is also very thick. These energy shields, like fortresses, can withstand all powerful energy impacts. The Hyperion flew all the way, and soon flew out of the sight range of many interstellar lords. Su Yan drove the Hyperion and quickly flew in one direction. Su Yan's goal is exactly that place called Star Federation. He is going to rush to the Federation of Stars, in the shortest possible time. Damn it, he ran away. Does he think we really have nothing to do with him? These interstellar lords all had hideous faces. In their view, Su Yan is like a clown who acts recklessly under their noses. but is powerless. We must bring him back. An interstellar lord gritted his teeth and said that he already hated Su Yan 690, and the flames of anger flickered in his eyes. I have already contacted people from the Star Federation. As long as we hand over this person, they will definitely send reinforcements to help us, and they will definitely help us avenge. As long as this guy is still in the universe, I don't believe it, he will not appear in front of us again. Another interstellar lord also said angrily, now, I will immediately go to the people of the Star Federation and tell them that their allies want to rob us of our resources and kill so many of our kind. That's right, we are going to the territory of the Star Federation now. Okay, everyone, follow me. We will unite with other people, notify other forces of this matter, and let them participate. Walk. The group of interstellar lords stood up one after another. They drove their interstellar battleship together and flew towards the direction of the Federation of Stars. Outside the planet, Su Yan steered the Hyperion to gallop towards the territory of the Federation of Stars. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion and flew for 3 years before staying outside the Federation of Stars. There are only 2 days left for the Federation of Stars. The warships of the interstellar lords have also descended on the outskirts of the planet. They stepped out of the battleship. Ha ha. This time, we want to let him know that he can't escape at all. That's right, even if he can defeat all the Star Lords here, he won't be able to escape. He has already pushed all of us into a corner. Let's go to Star Federation now. I want to see what kind of strength he is. These interstellar lords showed sinister smiles on their faces. They are all proud existences, and they have been aggrieved for a long time. Now that they have the opportunity, they naturally want to kill Su Yan. They will not give up such an opportunity. So these people have decided. Su Yan was arrested at all costs. Boom! An energy cannonball exploded out of a black lacquered energy cannon barrel and hit the energy shield of the Hyperion, bursting out a burst of dazzling white light. The energy shield of the Hyperion trembled violently, as if it was a little injured. Break me! Su Yan manipulated the Hyperion, bombarded a few torches towards the energy shield of the Hyperion again. Click click click. Under a series of attacks, the energy shield of the Hyperion began to crack. This guy actually has the strength to break our energy shield. How is this possible? The defensive weapons on this energy battleship have been specially refined. It is unbelievable that he can destroy such a solid defense. Let's keep attacking. Don't let this guy break our defenses. These interstellar lords launched an attack again. Su Yan was manipulating the Hyperion and was bombarded several times by their energy shells again. Not good. If this continues, before I crack their defenses, our energy shield will be damaged, and by then, the Hyperion will not be able to withstand the backlash of this force. Su Yan frowned. He felt bad. If his energy shield is destroyed, both he and the Hyperion will be severely damaged, and even lose their lives. His energy shield is one of his trump cards. There must be no mistakes, so he must destroy the energy shield before it is destroyed, otherwise, he will be in crisis. Ding! Congratulations to the host for triggering the hidden skill repair technique. Do you want to repair it? The system prompt sounded in my mind. Repair it. Su Yan nodded and said. Clusters of green light instantly emanated from Su Yan's body. Click. The energy shield on the Hyperion began to repair quickly at a speed visible to the naked eye. After an hour, the energy shield on the Hyperion has been half repaired, but it still hasn't reached the full state. This skill doesn't take such a long time. Seeing that the energy shield hadn't recovered yet, Su Yan also looked puzzled. It stands to reason that this restoration skill should be easily completed, but this time, it took a minute, which made Su Yan feel puzzled. But it was a hidden skill, so he couldn't ask the system casually. He could only wait quietly. He believed in the system. It wouldn't harm him. 10 walks would allow him to successfully complete the repair work this time. Click. There was a crisp sound. The energy shield on the Hyperion has been completely repaired, and it has returned to its full glory. Su Yan felt this energy fluctuation. He opened his eyes and looked at the energy shield of the Hyperion, with a hint of surprise on his face. This is actually true. This energy shield has really been repaired. No wonder I tentatively attacked a few times just now, but it didn't have any effect. It turned out that it was the function of the restoration technique, which not only repaired the energy shield on the Hyperion, but also allowed the restoration technique to repair the energy shield of the Hyperion, making its energy shield much stronger than before. Su Yan was surprised. He did not expect that the effect of the repair technique would be so miraculous, and the repaired energy shield would become stronger than before, making it even stronger. In this way, even if those interstellar lords rush forward, I can fight them. Su Yan clenched his fists and said, although these interstellar lords are very powerful, they have a fatal weakness. That is, they have no combat effectiveness. Unlike interstellar warriors, they have super fighting qualities, but they lack powerful combat skills and equipment. Su Yan's current Hyperion has these two advantages. Although the Hyperion does not have the powerful combat power of a star warship, it has Su Yan, a supermaster, which makes him invincible. In the universe, there are very few people who can rival Su Yan. Our starships don't have so much time to waste with them, said a Star Lord. Are we still afraid that he will fail? We rush forward, no matter how powerful he is. I don't believe that he can still withstand our attack. An interstellar lord said coldly. Good. Several other interstellar lords nodded and said, this is not the first time we have entered this star domain. We have fought against the star overlords here before. Although their strength is strong, they cannot compete with us at all. Once we fight together, they will definitely lose. These interstellar lords are all high-level members of the interstellar pirate group. They have fought against the interstellar kings here before, so they are very aware of the strength of the interstellar overlords. Su Yan looked at these interstellar lords and shook his head slightly. They were so arrogant that they dared to provoke the interstellar lords without weighing themselves. Su Yan also knew that these star lords did not know the horror of the star kings. They thought that if they had a large number of people, they would definitely be able to overwhelm the Starfighter clan, and the Starfighter clan couldn't do anything to them. Su Yan wasn't going to meddle in other people's business. After all, this was an internal matter of the Starfighter family, and he didn't want to get involved. The hatred between him and the Starfighter family cannot be explained clearly in a few words, so Su Yan didn't bother to intervene anymore. He sat on the seat at the bow, turned on the system, and checked the final evaluation results of the prosthetic surgery. This system is really awesome. After reading the results of the prosthetic evaluation, Su Yan couldn't help sighing. The Hyperion has actually reached more than 17,000 times the energy value. This kind of energy attribute is still slightly inferior to Su Yan's Hyperion, but it is completely enough to deal with Star-Lord. System. To repair this skill, how much energy is needed to complete the repair of the Hyperion? Su Yan asked. Ding. System prompt. Host repair. This restoration technique consumes 100 energy points. The repair is successful. Hearing the system's notification sound, a smile appeared on the corner of Su Yan's mouth. As expected of a restorative technique, it was able to transfer energy over there, turning the energy into a solid body, forming a defensive shield. In this way, I don't have to worry about being attacked by others during the battle. The power of restoration technique is really unexpectedly powerful. It seems that in the future, I can modify the prosthesis into an auxiliary energy shield. The auxiliary energy shield can provide greater defense power. This energy shield is a treasure for me. Just by repairing this energy shield, I can get a great improvement. Su Yan muttered to himself. He has seen the power of prosthetics before. 187 These repair skills of his were all repaired through the Hyperion, and he can use the repair technique. His current combat power is not low. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion and flew towards the depths of the universe. The Hyperion, at an extremely fast speed, almost traveled thousands of miles in an instant, and soon flew out of this starry sky. The speed of this Hyperion is much faster than that of ordinary interstellar warships. I don't know how long it can fly. Su Yan wondered whether the Hyperion had any special functions, and it might be able to fly for a long time, a long distance. Now, he only hopes to fly farther away to avoid being noticed by others. In Su Yan's heart, he was also looking forward to leaving this planet sooner. Before he knew it, Su Yan became more and more anxious. He also doesn't know how long the Hyperion will fly before it can reach the target location. Su Yan's heart was full of urgency. The Hyperion, somewhere in the solar system, descended slowly. The Hyperion landed near a city, and then walked off from the Hyperion. Dad, Anne, this planet is the headquarters of the interstellar pirates. They have established many strongholds here, covering a vast area, and it is a very prosperous place. Here is my headquarters. Su Yan looked at the surrounding environment and couldn't help smiling. In his mind, an electronic sound came out. Ding. The host has arrived at the target galaxy. Do you want to stop flying? Su Yan was secretly happy when he heard the system's prompt. He desperately needs a break now. Having not had a good night's sleep in over 3 months, Su Yan said, no, just follow the original plan and continue flying. The light curtain on the Hyperion flickered for a moment, and soon flew into the sky, flying into the dark starry sky. Ding. It is detected that the target planet is stationed by the Starfighter army. Does the host choose to lower the flight altitude? The system prompts, lower your flight altitude. Su Yan thought for a while, and then decided, anyway, there are not many Starfighter troops on this planet, so if he lowered his flight altitude, he would not attract the Starfighter's attention. Su Yan piloted the Hyperion, flying above the star army of the Starfighter family. His figure is constantly changing. Looking from a distance, it is just a blurry black shadow, and his face cannot be seen clearly. Su Yan piloted the Hyperion and flew over the heads of the Starfighter army. Hey, Why did this ship land suddenly? No, this is the Hyperion. Could it be that someone is coming to attack our starfighter army? No, absolutely impossible. A series of voices sounded. Su-Yan manipulated the Hyperion to lower the flight altitude, staying in a void, quietly waiting for the soldiers of the starfighter family to appear. Su-Yan waited quietly for a while, but did not wait for a human being, which made Su-Yan puzzled. The starfighter soldiers on the Hyperion were also surprised. They looked into the distance and only saw a blur of black shadows. Is it the enemy's bluff? A starfighter soldier muttered. Is there anyone else on this planet besides our overlord army? Another soldier asked. I think should not be. A soldier shook his head and said, in their view, the Hyperion was already considered a colossus, and it was impossible for them to be the opponents of starfighter soldiers like them. They have a large number of starfighter troops, and their warships are equipped with a lot of weapons, which can easily kill starfighter soldiers, and the strength of the starfighter soldiers is not low. They are not afraid of the Hyperion at all. The Hyperion floated quietly in the air without any unusual movement, and they ignored Su-Yan, and were still busy with their duties, not paying any attention to the suddenly approaching behemoth at all. The Hyperion was quietly floating in the void. Su-Yan looked at the busy starfighter soldiers in the distance, with a smile on his face, seeing the disdainful expressions of these people. Yan felt dark in his heart. It seems that these guys don't take me seriously. I really want to know what kind of expression they will have after they know who I am. Su-Yan thought to himself. Just like that, the Hyperion was quietly suspended in the void, waiting for the arrival of the group of soldiers from the starfighter family. Suddenly, the light curtain of the Hyperion trembled, sending out slight vibrations. Su-Yan was startled. His mental perception scanned towards the light curtain. On the light curtain, there was a red dot flying towards him. It was a figure in white armor. The figure was very fast, and it only took a second to appear in his line of sight. Seeing this figure, Su-Yan's heart skipped a beat. This figure is the leader of the starfighter family, Mo-Kur. Chief Mo-Kur is here. The leader of our starfighter clan has finally arrived, and it looks like we can take care of him. Dare to provoke our star overlord family. Damn human beings, they are really tired of life. The comments of the soldiers of the starfighter clan reached Su-Yan's ears one after another. Looks like I have to teach them a lesson. Su-Yan snorted secretly in his heart. Su-Yan steered the Hyperion and flew towards the leader of Mo-Kur. Steering the Hyperion, Su-Yan rushed towards the Mo-Kur leader swiftly. After the Hyperion approached the leader of Mo-Kur, a light screen was projected from the light screen on the Hyperion, and appeared beside the leader of Mo-Kur. What is this? The leader of Mo-Kur looked at the light screen that suddenly appeared, and frowned. Who are you? The leader of Mo-Kur said in a deep voice. His voice was rumbling like rolling thunder. Chief Mo-Kur looked at the cockpit door of the Hyperion, where a Japanese figure stood. Su-Yan looked at the light curtain of the Hyperion, and he saw the expression on the face of Chief Mo-Kur. As expected, he is indeed the leader of the starfighter clan. He is very powerful. But Su-Yan secretly laughed in his heart. Who are you? And why did you trespass into the starfighter army of our starfighter family? The leader of Mo-Kur stared at Su-Yan in the light curtain, and said indifferently, get out of here quickly, otherwise, don't blame us tilde we're welcome. He is extremely confident in his Star Overlord army, and believes that the Star Overlord army will never be afraid of any enemy, even if the opponent is a planet. He even thought that he only needed to send 1,000 or 2,000 soldiers to wipe out the human beings in front of him, and he didn't have to go out personally. Su-Yan couldn't help laughing when he saw the expression on the leader of Mo-Kur. You're welcome. How are you going to deal with me? Su-Yan looked at the light curtain jokingly and said lightly. Seeing Su-Yan despise himself so much, the leader of Mo-Kur shouted angrily, damn, how dare you despise our starfighter family so much? Chief Mo-Kur's tone was heavy, as if he had taken Su-Yan down, but Su-Yan doesn't like him at all. Leader Mo-Kur, is this the style of your starfighter clan? Su-Yan mocked and said mockingly. The leader of Mo-Kur's face was gloomy, and he was silent for a while, before gritting his teeth and said, humans, if you are sensible, you should retreat immediately, otherwise, don't blame us for being rude. Su-Yan snorted coldly. Chief Mo-Kur, I don't take your threat seriously. Since you are not going to cooperate with me, that's fine. However, you'd better remember that this time I won't show mercy to you starfighter clan. The leader of Mo-Kur sneered. Do you think you have this strength? Do you think you can defeat us with your Star Overlord? Whether I have this strength or not will be known soon. Because of the words said lightly. While Su-Yan was speaking, he steered the Hyperion and slowly flew towards the leader of Mo-Kur. Seeing the Hyperion approaching, the leader of Mo-Kur had a cold light in his eyes, and said in a deep voice, human, don't you think, are you too arrogant? How dare you take the initiative to send it to your door to seek death? Really? Then I'll meet you. He steered the Hyperion and tracked directly to the Mo-Kur leader. On the Hyperion, Japanese lasers shot out Kai. A series of laser beams. All of them hit the armor of the leader of Mokur Hiss. The laser on the Hyperion shot at the armor, making a chirping sound. The exterior of the armor was pierced by the laser, and smoke was emitted from each small hole, making a chirping sound. However, these lasers can't harm the Mokir leader division at all. The face of the leader of Mokur changed. He snorted coldly and said, "Okay, very good. I didn't expect you, a human being, to be so powerful. It seems that our starfighter family will look at you with admiration." Mokur controlled the Overlord battleship and headed towards the Hyperion. He wants to use his 300-meter-high Overlord warship to suppress the small boat Su Yan. Seeing Mokir flying over, Su Yan's face was calm. He controlled the Hyperion and directly crashed into it. Boom. The Hyperion kept hitting the Mokur battleship in the air, making a violent explosion. The shield on the Hyperion is also very strong. Although the huge Overlord warship of the leader of Mokur kept attacking the Hyperion, the shield of the Hyperion was not damaged. Humans, I admit that your defense is indeed very strong, but your attack has no effect at all on our starfighter family. Sparks shot out from the shield on the Hyperion. Chief Mokur looked at the Hyperion with excitement and greed in his eyes. "Yeah, let's try it out then." As Su Yan said, he controlled the Hyperion and rammed towards the battleship Mokur again. Boom, boom. On the Hyperion, beams of light were constantly erupting, and streams of torrents were scurrying wantonly in the air. Seeing this scene, the leader of Mokir's face was ugly, and he said in a deep voice, "Damn, are you crazy? Don't you know that our starfighter family is so powerful? If you do this, you are simply asking for your own death?" His tone was full of annoyance. Obviously, he did not expect that this human being would not play cards according to common sense. The Hyperion is attacking, and the battleship Mokur is also attacking. The two seem to be consuming each other, but the attack of the leader of Mokur is always blocked by the Hyperion string. 0. The Hyperion's defense system also has certain limitations. Obviously, the longer the attack takes, the greater the burden on the Hyperion will be. The Hyperion's defense system wasn't really a defense system after all. Therefore, the attack of the leader of Mokir has always posed no fatal danger to him. "Fire the laser cannon," Su Yan ordered coldly. In the main control room of the Hyperion, a laser cannon has long been on standby. As soon as Su Yan's voice fell, the optical computer on the main control room of the Hyperion quickly started to operate, and the database of a laser cannon was quickly activated, and then adjusted to the state ready to launch. Boom. Beams of laser cannons shot out from the Hyperion, penetrated the Hyperion in an instant, and hit the Mokur battleship. Bang bang. A series of explosions sounded, and the shell of the Mokur battleship was shot by the laser cannon, and burst open immediately. On the battle deck of the Mokir battleship, thick smoke billowed suddenly, and then a puff of white smoke engulfed the entire battleship. Seeing this scene, the leader of Mokir suddenly felt a strong anger, and he gave Su Yan a vicious look. He never expected that this human being would not play cards according to common sense, and he would dare to fire the laser cannon. "I want you dead," Chief Mokur growled. He controlled the Overlord battleship to ram towards the Hyperion. Boom. The Hyperion and the Overlord battleship collided, and a violent shock erupted immediately. The two warships collided continuously in the air. The density of laser cannons is no less powerful than that of ordinary battleships, and the explosions produced are even more terrifying. Mokir drove the Overlord battleship and attacked the Hyperion area frantically. Although the Hyperion is very powerful, it has no way to resist Mokir's Overlord battleship after all. The Hyperion was still affected. The weapons on the Hyperion are all defensive devices with strong bulletproof performance. Therefore, although Mokir's attack was terrifying, the Hyperion did not suffer much damage. However, under Mokir's crazy offensive, the Hyperion also retreated every September 37, and kept retreating. During the battle, casualties on the Hyperion became more and more serious. Seeing this situation, Mokir showed a grim smile on his face. He manipulated the Overlord battleship to continue the pursuit, and he wanted to destroy the Hyperion completely in one go. "Su Yan, just wait to be wiped out by our starfighter clan," Mokir roared wildly. Su Yan ignored Mokir. He controlled the Hyperion and fought back frantically. The defensive power of the Hyperion is extremely powerful, but its attack power can only cause a little damage to the warships of the starfighter family, and it is not enough to damage the warships of the starfighter family. That's why he chose to fight Mokir to the death. Su Yan didn't want to give up. He controlled the Hyperion and continued to attack Mokir. "Su Yan, just wait. You must be wiped out by our interstellar royal family," Mokir yelled angrily. The two collided violently again, and the two starfighter warships collided crazily in the universe. bursting out with dazzling light. Under their collision, meteorites fell from the depths of the universe. Boom. The Hyperion and the Overlord battleship slammed into each other again. A hole was opened in the defense system of the Hyperion, revealing a gap. When the gap appeared, Mokir immediately controlled the Overlord battleship and rushed towards the gap. Mokir controlled the battleship and slammed into the Hyperion. Click. The Hyperion was smashed to pieces by Mokir's battleship. Su-Yan manipulated the Hyperion and regrouped. Seeing this situation, Mokir laughed loudly, and he taunted, "Stupid Su-Yan, even if you repair this battleship, you will have no effect, and you still cannot escape from my palm." Hearing Xander's words, the corner of Su-Yan's mouth twitched into a sarcasm. Really? Su-Yan smiled slightly, controlled the Hyperion, and rushed towards the Overlord battleship quickly. Seeing the Hyperion approaching again, Mokir showed a mocking smile. "You only have such little strength. Are you trying to compete with me? It's ridiculous." The Hyperion instantly rushed in front of the Overlord battleship. The Overlord battleship immediately adjusted its direction, preparing to avoid the attack of the Hyperion. Seeing this scene, Mokir's face suddenly turned livid. He didn't expect that this Su-Yan would have such a weird tactic that he turned the Hyperion and hit his Overlord battleship accurately. The Overlord battleship suddenly lost its balance and suddenly deviated from its original direction to the left. The side of the Overlord battleship has been punched out by the Hyperion. Seeing this scene, Mokir's complexion suddenly became cloudy. He never imagined that this despicable Su-Yan would use such a despicable move. However, since the Hyperion's attack is ineffective, he can completely crush the Hyperion with tyrannical force. Mokir controlled the Overlord battleship, suddenly accelerated the attack speed, and rushed towards the Hyperion again. Boom. The Overlord battleship slammed into the Hyperion and sent the Hyperion flying. However, although the Hyperion was knocked out, it was not smashed into a ball of scrap metal as Mokir expected. The hull of the Hyperion just shook slightly, then stopped. This scene surprised Mokir a little. "What? Undamaged?" Mokir stared wide-eyed at the Hyperion. "Your attack is actually ineffective." Mokir's complexion was extremely ugly. As I said before, your strength is still too weak. You can't help me at all." Su-Yan smiled faintly. He controlled the Hyperion and rushed towards the Overlord again, preparing to sink the Overlord. The Overlord battleship's defense is very high, but it is not without weaknesses. The main gun of the Overlord battleship is very powerful, and Mokir also knows that the main gun of his battleship is very powerful, and it can be easily destroyed by ordinary attacks. So he loaded several main guns on the Overlord battleship, and he planned to use the main guns to smash the Hyperion. Boom! The Hyperion collided with the Overlord battleship again, knocking the Overlord battleship flying upside down, and rolled a few times in the universe before it stabilized. The Hyperion was safe and sound, not even a little bit of damage. "This is impossible." Mokir's eyes widened, his face full of disbelief. He never thought that the Hyperion was so strong. He tried his best, but he couldn't destroy the Hyperion. Looking at this posture, the Hyperion seems to want to continue to attack him. Damn. Mokir gritted his teeth. He controlled the Overlord battleship, quickly changed the course, and no longer confronted the Hyperion. He is going to escape. Let's escape in 2.1 first. As soon as the Overlord warship moved, the Hyperion Bureau followed closely behind. The Hyperion was chasing and killing the Overlord battleship all the way, but the Overlord battleship didn't dare to fight the Hyperion, so it could only dodge around. Mokir dared not confront the Hyperion head-on. Call out. The Overlord battleship turned again and rushed in one direction. He didn't realize that Su-Yan had quietly followed behind him. Mokir happened to be tracking the Hyperion all the time, preventing it from getting close to the battleship. Su-Yan happened to be following Mokir. His speed was much slower than Mokir. Su-Yan controls the Hyperion, chasing and killing Mokir all the way. Boom. There was another fierce impact sound. The Overlord battleship collided with a planet. Numerous cracks have appeared on the surface of the planet. The Overlord battleship was also violently shaken during the collision. The space of the entire planet began to distort, and it seemed that it would collapse in the next second. Mokir's complexion became extremely ugly. The Overlord battleship was being chased by the Hyperion, and he couldn't get rid of the Hyperion at all. The main gun attack power of the Hyperion is too powerful. Even a top powerhouse like Mokir can't resist it. With a main gun of this level, the range of the Hyperion is enough to cover 300 million kilometers. In the starry sky, there are no obstacles at all. This level of attack has already surpassed Mokir's ability. A gleam of determination flashed in Mokir's eyes. He controlled the Overlord battleship and rushed towards the Hyperion. This time his target was the main gun of the Hyperion. He was going to use the main gun to attack the main gun of the Hyperion, and then took the opportunity to destroy the Hyperion. This scene was discovered by Su-Yan. Su-Yan saw what Mokir was thinking, and he shook his head disdainfully. Then, controlling the Hyperion, launched another attack towards Mokir. Although the Hyperion's attack power is not as good as Mokir's, the Hyperion's defense is very strong. It will take a while for Mokir to destroy the Hyperion. During this time, he can just use this time to destroy the Hyperion. Boom. The two main cannons exploded at the same time, and the aftermath of energy from the explosion directly overturned the entire planet, causing countless dust and rocks to scatter in all directions, like a falling meteorite. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion, quickly moved away from the Overlord, and hid at a safe distance. Haha, Hyperion, you finally don't have the ability to continue firing at me. Right, now you have no chance. I will destroy you right away. I want you to die without a burial. The voice of Mokir came from inside the Overlord battleship. Mokir has struck again. Boom. The main gun of the Hyperion launched a fierce attack again. Boom. A series of thick shells crazily smashed towards the Overlord battleship. No matter how the Overlord battleship reacts, its speed is still not as fast as the Hyperion after all. Boom. The Hyperion frantically fired at the Overlord battleship, and the shells rained down on the Overlord battleship's shield. However, Mokir is not to be outdone, and is also frantically attacking the Hyperion. On the Overlord battleship, beams of light spewed out. Beams of energy beams ruthlessly hit the Hyperion, and the main gun of the Hyperion bang bang. The two sides attacked and collided with each other. The main gun of the Overlord battleship is very powerful, but the gunfire of the Hyperion is also extremely sharp. Although it has not reached the maximum power of the main gun, it is not far behind. Although the Overlord battleship is a top battleship, it is not the strongest battleship. Therefore, under the artillery fire of the Hyperion and the Overlord battleship, cracks began to appear in their energy shields. After the Overlord battleship's energy shield cracked, the energy cannon of the Hyperion also fired another energy shell, which hit the Overlord battleship's energy shield, destroying it. Boom! Another energy shell slammed into the Overlord battleship fiercely, causing a huge hole to appear in the Overlord battleship again. Although the Overlord battleship is the strongest space battleship, it is not invincible. After all, it is a top-level battleship, and its defense system is far inferior to that of the Hyperion. The power of the main gun of the Hyperion is too terrifying. Even if the Overlord battleship's energy shield is extremely powerful, it still cannot withstand the attack of the Hyperion. Under the attack of the Hyperion, the Overlord battleship quickly cracked. Bang bang. The main guns of the Hyperion were still bombarding the Overlord battleship crazily, causing the Overlord battleship's energy shield to continuously shatter. Su Yan, stop for me. Seeing the main gun of the Hyperion, Mokir kept bombarding his own main gun, and shouted quickly. The main gun of the Hyperion has completely torn through his energy shield. If the Hyperion is not stopped, he will be completely bombarded to death. The speed of the Hyperion was really too fast. Before Mokir could finish speaking, the main gun of the Hyperion fired another energy shell. This time, the energy cannon of the Hyperion was not blocked by the protective cover. It directly penetrated the protective cover of the Overlord battleship, and hit the Overlord battleship, causing the outer layer of the Overlord battleship to be exploded immediately. The Hyperion's attack is really too strong. Although the protective cover on the outer layer of the Overlord battleship is relatively strong, the main gun of the Hyperion can be easily torn apart. Under the attack of the Hyperion, the protective cover of the Overlord battleship was finally completely smashed, revealing the situation inside. The Overlord battleship has been completely damaged. Although the Overlord battleship is a super technological civilization in the universe, under the double blow of the energy cannon and the main cannon, its defense has dropped by more than half. Boom! The main gun of the Hyperion crazily fired at the Overlord battleship. The Hyperion is still 277 frantically firing at the Overlord battleship. No, is he crazy? Mokir roared angrily. Stop it now. Su Yan didn't listen, and continued to fire at the Overlord battleship crazily, and the frequency of attacks became faster and faster. Damn. Mokir was very annoyed. He doesn't know what to do now. After all, the Hyperion's attack frequency is too high, sweeping wildly like a machine gun. The energy of the energy cannon of the Hyperion is also continuous. This made his energy shield not last long at all. After a while, the energy cover of the Overlord battleship was completely shattered, and the energy cannon on the Overlord battleship also completely lost its power, leaving only a wreckage. The Overlord battleship has become empty. On the Hyperion, the expressions of Su Hao and others changed slightly. Mokir's main battery has been completely destroyed. So what about the Hyperion's defense system? The soldiers on the Overlord battleship are all elite fighters, and they have already gotten used to the Overlord battleship's defense system. Their fighting will was very high, and after receiving the order, they quickly organized a counterattack. The battleship of the Hyperion was still bombing frantically, constantly attacking the Overlord battleship, wounding soldiers one by one. Although the Overlord battleship has a powerful defense system and the support of energy cannons, his combat effectiveness was not very strong either. Under the bombardment of the Hyperion, soldiers were constantly killed. One after another energy arrows are flying in the void. Whoosh! With a sharp whistling sound, the energy arrow flew towards the space ahead. With a piercing whistling sound, the energy arrows continuously gallop towards the space ahead. Behind the energy arrows are densely packed energy balls. The number of energy balls has reached 3,000. A horrified look appeared on Mo Ker's face, and cold sweat broke out on his forehead. What should I do? In Mo Ker's mind, countless thoughts flashed quickly. Now, they were forced into a dangerous situation. The energy cannon of the Hyperion was attacking their battleship frantically. They could not fight back, and Song, he was forced to flee here. However, if they choose to leave here now, they will lose completely. Mo Ker is very clear that if he chooses to leave now, they will definitely lose very ugly. However, if they don't leave, they will definitely be consumed alive, and they won't even have a chance to escape. Chief Mo Ker, what now? On a battleship beside Mo Ker, several warriors asked Mo Ker. We can't leave, Mo Ker said through gritted teeth. If you don't leave, do you really want to sit and wait? The soldier said. Humph. Mo Ker snorted coldly. Although the energy cannon of the Hyperion is powerful, we are protected by an energy shield. His energy cannon can't break through the energy shield at all. He can only watch us being killed, but there is no other way. The leader of Mo Ker is wise, said the warrior flatteringly. The Hyperion's attack is over. Suddenly, a soldier said. What? Mo Ker was taken aback. The attack on the Hyperion, over. Although the Hyperion is powerful, its attack range is too short, and it can destroy a galaxy in an instant. Mo Ker did not believe that the Hyperion's attack would end in an instant. When the energy cannon of the Hyperion exploded again, the huge defensive cover still hadn't been broken, and there were slight cracks in the energy cover. Damn it, it didn't break through. I don't believe how long this energy shield can last. Mo Ker roared. Leader Mo Ker, I can't hold on anymore. The energy cannon of the Hyperion still has more than 15,000 shells. This energy shield can only last for about 5 minutes. A soldier reminded. What? 5 minutes? Mo Ker's face changed slightly. For 5 minutes, I couldn't hold it at all. Mo Ker leader, leave now, the soldier said. Mo Ker's face was extremely gloomy. He didn't expect that his energy shield was so fragile that it couldn't last for a long time. Chief Mo Ker, there is no other way now. If we continue to stay here, we must die. The few soldiers on the side said. We don't want to just fall here. We need to find other ways to escape. Mo Ker nodded, and then ordered everyone to look around for a way to escape. This time, Mo Ker also spent a lot of money, not only took out the most advanced weapons in his hands, but also dispatched a lot of energy cannons. They want to use artillery fire to eliminate all the combat energy cannons of the Hyperion, so as to avoid being breached by the defensive cover. I have to say, Mo Ker's trick is very effective. Under his command, the entire fleet quickly moved toward the right, and the Hyperion was constantly chasing them, trying to force them into a narrow area. Boom! The Hyperion, shell after shell, drew long trails in the void, constantly attacking the fleet's defensive cover. Under his attack, many tiny gaps appeared in the fleet's defense cover. Damn it, the Hyperion's attack is really too powerful. Chief Mo Ker, why don't we just retreat? Retreat to where? Mo Ker shook his head. Leader Mo Ker, although the Hyperion's attack is powerful, we only need to avoid it. We have a large fleet, and its energy shield. As long as we can avoid its attack, then he can't do anything to us, said the soldier. Mo Ker thought for a while, and felt that the soldier's suggestion was good, so he ordered, all soldiers, increase the energy defense shield, and prevent the Hyperion's attack from approaching again. Yes. Afterwards, all the energy shields of the fleet started to operate, and circle after circle of halos appeared on the energy shields. Under the cover of these energy shields, their warships and their energy cannons became extremely hard again. Even if the Hyperion's attack struck again, they might not be able to break through their defenses. Su Yan, I want to see how long you can hold on, and what will you use to deal with us after your energy is exhausted? Mo Ker sneered. He couldn't believe it anymore. The energy shield of the Hyperion could last forever. Time passed by second. Mo Ker found something was wrong. During this period of time, he found that the energy shield had become a little dim. The damn Hyperion, it actually installed a layer of energy stones on the energy shield. The energy of the energy stone can support the consumption of its energy shield, and its energy shield can continuously supply it, so that it can attack without limit. Damn, if this is the case, then even if we hide in the battleship, it will be useless. We can only be wiped out bit by it, and our battleship will soon disappear into the universe. No, you have to find a way. Mo Ker fell into deep thought. He was thinking of a way, but this time, he couldn't think of any way, and he didn't know how long the Hyperion could last. In the fleet, all the soldiers were very nervous. In front of them, there is a huge energy screen, and the battle scene of the Hyperion is being played on the screen. The projection of this screen is also inside the battleship of the Mokur Legion. The picture quality of this screen is very clear, and they can even see the attack trajectory of the Hyperion. Every shot of the Hyperion is so sharp. No, we absolutely can't just sit and wait like this. Hyperion, I can't let you continue to wreak havoc. Mokur's face is very ugly. The Hyperion's attack was simply too terrifying. Even with all the energy shields of their legion, it might not be able to persist with this level of attack. Mokir's mind was running rapidly, and he kept thinking of ways. Boom! At this moment, a deafening sound suddenly sounded. When Mokir and the others heard the sound, they were taken aback for a moment. Then, when they looked at the screen, they saw the attack from the Hyperion, attacking their battleship again. Leader Mokur, the shelling of the Hyperion is too violent, and our energy shields seem to be unable to withstand the attack of the Hyperion, a soldier said anxiously. I know, I have also seen that this situation is simply beyond our control, and we simply cannot stop his attack. Mokur sighed. His heart was full of annoyance. He hated himself for not realizing the power of the Hyperion earlier, and he also regretted that he underestimated the enemy just now. If he could think more, maybe, it won't be reduced to what it is today. Their warships kept trembling, like leaves falling in the wind and rain, swaying constantly. The energy shield, 487, also became dim, showing signs of collapse at any time. Chief Mokur, it's not good. There has been a loophole in the energy shield of the Hyperion. I'm worried that the energy shield will be broken soon, and our battleship will be completely destroyed by his attacking ministers. The soldier said in a panic. What? A loophole has appeared in the energy shield. Mokir's face changed drastically. We can only wait for the energy shield to shatter, and then think of a solution. The soldier said helplessly. When the energy shield is broken, we have nothing to do. Mokir's eyes scanned the screen in front of him. Damn. Mokur gritted his teeth, very depressed in his heart. Damn Su Yan, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be where we are now. It's all your fault. Mokur hated Su Yan to the core. He really wanted to kill Su Yan with his own hands, but unfortunately, he simply couldn't do it. Chief Mokur, what should we do now? Our energy shield will soon be destroyed by the Hyperion, and by then, we will really be crushed by the Hyperion. The soldiers asked one after another. Mokir took a deep breath, and his heart was also very tangled. Now, he has no choice but to wait for the energy shield to shatter. Mokur, secretly praying in his heart that the energy shield will not be broken. However, fortunately, our energy shield is still there, and the energy of the energy shield is enough to last for a month. By then, our energy shield has not been broken, and the bombardment of the Hyperion has not ended, and our fleet is still there as hope. Mokur said. Mokur's words were actually meant for everyone to hear, but in fact, they were only meant for himself. He also knew in his heart that it would be impossible to resist the Hyperion in a month. Can you still hold on? Mokir asked again. We can hold on for a while longer, but we won't be able to hold on for a week at the latest, and the energy shield will be damaged, and by that time, our battleship will be completely finished. The soldier said helplessly. 1 week. No matter what method you use, you must repair the energy shield in the shortest possible time, otherwise, our lives will be gone. Mokir ordered. Yes. The soldier replied helplessly. He also understood that he had to repair the energy shield immediately. At this time, cracks suddenly appeared on the energy shield. Mokir's pupils shrank instantly. Mokir, Huangzhang's energy is about to run out, another warrior said. No, CDFD can break the energy shield. However, now, there are cracks on the energy shield. I'm afraid that if we don't repair it, our energy shield will be broken, the soldier said anxiously. No, you must repair the energy shield before the energy shield is broken. I believe that you will be able to repair the energy shield. Mokir gritted his teeth and ordered. Now, you start working immediately, and try to repair the energy shield before the energy shield is completely broken. If the energy shield cannot be repaired, our fleet will also be wiped out. Mokir's words made all the fighters on the entire battleship excited. They know that their only chance to survive is to repair the energy shield before the energy shield breaks, otherwise, they will only die. The energy shield is already full of cracks, and there is a possibility of collapse at any time. At this moment, Mokur couldn't care less about it. Boom! The Hyperion kept attacking the energy shield, bombarded by energy bombs one after another, leaving behind mushroom clouds. A stream of turbulent energy swept around, and all objects would be turned into powder and dust. The energy shield on top of the energy shield was also shaking constantly, as if it would break at any moment. Mokur looked at this scene, feeling extremely anxious in his heart. Damn. Mokir cursed secretly. Now he has nothing to do, and now he can only rely on those soldiers. Mo Kier looked at the scene in front of him, his fists clenched tightly, and his palms turned white, showing the anger and helplessness in his heart at the moment. The energy shield must last until the end, Mo Kier prayed secretly. The battle between Su Yan and Mo Kier has lasted for more than 2 days. More and more cracks appeared on the energy shield, and the power of the energy shield was gradually weakening. Their energy shields are also covered with cracks one by one, and they seemed to collapse at any moment. Before them, many warships had already been attacked by the Hyperion. They were also seriously injured, and some had already lost their combat effectiveness, and could only watch helplessly as the energy shields shattered and turned into ashes and dissipated. There are more and more cracks on the energy shield, and their energy shield is getting weaker and weaker. It seems that they will not be able to hold on soon. Leader Mo Kier, we have no other choice now. We have to fight to the death to have a chance of survival, the soldier said anxiously. Well, then we will fight to the death.
Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.